Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, today we are going to have a brief look at the new Linux Mint 19.3 beta. Full disclosure, I know nothing about this distro. I did read some of the early plans for it. I've not yet read the release notes. What we're going to do is we are going to walk through the brief install, which should be a fairly easy, fairly simple, very familiar layout. And then we will have a brief look at the release notes while it is going, and then we will go ahead and have a look at the system. So we have our desktop is over here. This is on the live key. I just downloaded this just before my stream. Now, the biggest thing that they're talking about is the new logo in here, which is the first thing that I see down here in the corner is the new logo in the menu. So new logo, I'm neutral on it. I don't absolutely hate it, don't absolutely love it. I kind of actually like the older one better, but that's okay. That's a fairly minor thing. If I remember correctly, I think they were actually doing some different things as far as our, let's see, Celluloid plays music and videos. So that just used to be called Media Player. Now it's Celluloid, which seems to have crashed on me. Open again, please. All right, I think this is based on the, I think they're based on the GNOME version. So front end, GTK front end for MPV. All right. So I think that they did that in a few different areas just to simplify a few things. I think that's what their plan was. Hopefully that's not a problematic issue. But anyway, that's one of the early things I saw. But let's go ahead and have a look at the rest of it after we install it. So we'll go ahead and run through our basic installation. I'm guessing that our installation is going to be the same installation that we have seen before. Selecting our language, no problem at all. Keyboard layouts, quite easy. Here, yes, let's go ahead and install third-party software for all these types of things, basically the codecs. We don't have the option to update as it installs anymore. I think it actually does that automatically now, but I'm not completely sure. This is something that was dropped in the Ubuntu installer as they were going. So here we can erase the old one. We can install alongside. I'm just going to go ahead and erase the disk. If we erase it, then we have the option here to encrypt it and use logical volume management. I'm not going to worry about any of that right now. So at this step here, we are killing the disk. So don't do that unless you absolutely know you want to. And let's just call this Mint and give it a super secret password that's definitely not 123. It does let me install with that, which is better than some distributions that I was seeing recently did not allow me to do that. And I found that to be a little bit annoying. It's like, I want to use an insecure password because this is a machine for testing purposes. Please let me use a short password. Yes, I know it's short. I don't care. This is not a machine that's going to go to Starbucks with me. Thank you very much. Anyway, let's go ahead, though, and have a look at our, while this is installing, we will have a look at our release notes. All right, so all three of these have dropped today. This is December 3rd. I guess it was dropped yesterday. So we have XFCE, we have Mate, and we have Cinnamon versions. We'll just go ahead and have a look at the blog post here. So these are all going to just kind of apply. Of course, we're doing the Cinnamon install is the one that we are working with. So let's go ahead and have a look at our various new features. So new version of Linux Mint maintains many improvements. So there's a what's new, there's some release, system requirements, bug reports, download links. So it looks like we are going to have to go and have a look at the what's new tab. Let's go ahead and look at XFCE. We'll pull the next one for Mate. And we'll pull the next one for Cinnamon. Now, most of the changes are going to be consistent across them, but there's just going to be some things related mostly to the desktop environment. All right, so let's go ahead and have a look here. So system reports, something new. You'll have a system tray after you install it with a warning icon to catch your attention and indicate that there are things for you to review. So there's some installation stuff we're going to see in Linux Mint 19.3. Going to see a step further. We're going to detect potential issues on your computer. Oh boy, I hope that's not annoying, but I don't know. If you're missing a language package, multimedia codecs, hardware driver or a new version of Linux Mint is available, the icon will let you know. So I guess it's going to annoy you on several different things. All right. As long as it's just an icon and not a pop-up, I'm okay with that. Pop-ups kind of annoy me. Language settings, so you can do some language settings to set everything in your basic formatting. High DPI support. This is something a lot of people have been asking for. So this is in XFCE. It's almost complete. Supports all Linux Mint 19.3 editions with the exceptions of HexChat and Qt5 settings by all applications which are included by default. Thanks to XApp Station for system tray icons look crisp. Flags in the language settings and software sources tools are no longer blurry. Celluloid replaces XPlayer as the default multiplayer. Let's see. Playing a movie on laptop can rapidly deplete the battery. CPU gets too hot. Fans also kick off. The computer gets noisy. The resolution is too high. CPU to handle gets choppy. XPlayer is based on GStreamer Clutter GST. Can only render videos via CPU. Celluloid is based on the MPV backend, which provides much better performance. So in other words, all this is up there to say that this is going to be able to have a lot better performance on this system than the other ones. Gnote replaces Tomboy as the default application to take notes. I did not use Tomboy, but Gnote, there you go. With the exception of the tray icon, Gnote provides the same functionality, but is built on more modern technology. Drawing, GIMP is an excellent application, but has very steep learning curve, and its user interface is quite intimidating for novice users. Linux Mint 19.3, GIMP was removed from the default software and replaced by the simpler drawing application. That'll be interesting to have a look at. It's probably not going to do for most of what I need to do, but it will definitely probably be something good for the basic user, which Linux Mint has always been targeted to. So this ships with XFCE 4.14. Windows Manager, receive vsync support. Okay, just glancing through anything else in here. So many things here. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys have a look. Thunar, path bars reworked. Support for larger thumbnails. All right. Icon chooser. Okay, let's see. X application widget was improved to set a default icon and custom icon categories. Okay. Blueberry for Bluetooth and other things. A lot of these are going to rely on XFCE. All right, in Mate, you're going to see very similar across the board. Trying to see if there's anything else in there. Didn't see anything else specific there. Of course, we're going to have our changes down here too. There, and Cinnamon. My guesses were going to be just about the same. So we'll have a look for that new icon, see what it says, language pack. Okay. That's all going to be the same. Gnote, drawing. Okay, Cinnamon 4.4, panel zone text, new symbolic layout. So each panel zone, left, right, center, top, center, if the panel is vertical, now has the ability to have its own text size for symbolic application. So you have more items inside of there. Nemo context menu, file manager preferences, now possible to configure which actions should be visible. Wow, that's actually cool. As long as it's not buggy, because then if there's things you never ever use, you could just kick them out. That's pretty sweet. Other improvements, startup animations, following crash sim can be restarted without third-party spices, speed optimizations, Windows Focus is now configurable. A lot of stuff, a lot of neat stuff. All right, and in the time it took to look at all that, we are actually done. So let's go ahead and restart now and have a look. See what we get. So yeah, the installation is very nice. So this is actually the new icon on the loading screen, which is good. I will definitely take this over the last couple versions. Like my laptop, which was originally installed with Linux Mint 17, still has the very nice startup screen that I liked. The later versions went down to just saying Linux Mint with your dots, which I never liked. So I like that my laptop does that. If we get this animation starting screen again, I will very much like that. I always prefer that to just saying Linux Mint on the startup. But apparently it started up too quickly to even see. So let's go ahead and have a look. we just have basic software rendering in there on our various installations. That's okay. Of course, we're on a virtual machine, 4 processing cores on a Ryzen 5 1600, and 6 gigs of RAM is what we gave, and 256 megabytes of video memory. All right, so here is our new welcome screen. It looks very much the same as it did before. First steps, setting up these system snapshots, driver manager, desktop layouts. We still have those, system settings, software manager. So everything in there appears to be pretty much the same. We have our update manager is telling us something here. Let's go ahead and walk through this. Okay, now if you're a person like me, I never like running the time shift. I've never been a big fan of that, simply because it's like Linux is it's easier to reinstall it from scratch and save your home folder. As long as your home folder's backed up, I'm okay with that. So I like that it didn't give me that annoying pop-up that it used to do. My guess is it might still be in here. No, it's actually not. It's actually not giving me the prompting anymore. I don't think it's not anyway, to set up time shift before I run backups. It's not giving me that. I think that was in the system preferences, although we do have system snapshots available here, but I'm not getting the annoying bar. Let's not worry about updating to a new mirror right now, just for time's sake. And it does look like this icon down here looks like it says there's some problems. So yeah, it's not popping up. It's there and I can kind of see it. So let's go ahead and click on it and see what that does. Is that just the update? I guess that's just telling me there's an update. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Okay. So it detected the problems. It's running the caches. Let's see what this is doing. This is the brand new feature inside of here. So install hardware drivers. So it's giving me the update that there are some hardware drivers, in this case for the virtual machine. Language packs, following localization packs are missing. Open Office hyphenation. Interesting. Okay. Supporting hyphenation. Set the root password. The root account is locked by default in Linux Mint and its password is not set. Your boot menu's emergency mode does not require a password. Set the root password to protect it. That's actually pretty cool. So it will prompt you on how to do that and set up system restore utility. So, okay, so that what they did is they took it out of the update and they put it over here. So I'm going to go ahead and just ignore this. Problem will be permanently ignored and will no longer be visible. So I can go ahead and get rid of that. All right, so here is kind of what the reports are. Now, Linux Mint is an organization that absolutely hates any form of data collection. So I would be confident in saying that this is not going anywhere unless you specifically push this button. There's not going to be any automatic thing. But you can see it is actually doing a lot of things. And if there's any crash reports, you can do this. So that is kind of the new functions. Okay, so we have our basic tools here. Let's go ahead and have a look at drawing application. This used to be just Linux, just GIMP. Now they're taking this out. It's not that GIMP is bad. It's just they're right. GIMP does have a high learning curve, and if all you're needing to do is just edit or adjust some picture, this will probably get it. We're going to have some degree of learning curve on this as well, but such is the case. And, you know, I don't know, paths, stuff like that. I don't know. So anyway, there's a new tool you can play around with. Here's our color panels. I've not seen this one before, so it'd be worth playing with a little bit. Discard that. Let's go ahead and have a quick look at some of our software versions that we have. Okay, let's see, sound and video. We just have Celluloid and Rhythmbox. Let's boot up Libre Writer here. Okay, we have Firefox 7001. Okay, so LibreOffice here is still giving us a more traditional layout. Let's see if we have, yeah, so we're still on version 6.0.7.3. So if you wanted to use like your tabbed view, you still don't have it in this version. You would need to update to a later version of it. But there's what we have inside of that. Let's see, there's hex chat. Thunderbird. Let's go ahead and have a, oh, that's our software manager. I want to go ahead and have a look at our settings. Then we'll have a look at our software manager after that. So system settings, it looks like we just have our basic themes. It doesn't look like really anything has changed in our theme department here. And here's our desktop. So show icons for missing desktop. These are the various icons that we have. Windows, online accounts. So we got Nextcloud, all these Microsoft and Facebook. Ooh, that's all right. All right, let me, before we look at that, I also want to right click here. Okay, hit customize. This is our desktop settings. This is the new grid spacing. There's a reset grid spacing. We can do icon sizes. We can go down to smaller. We can go up to ultra. I'm blind. I need my icons big. Down to normal. We can turn off auto arrange. We can go vertical or horizontal. We can sort by, and then we can reverse sort. And then here's our grid spacing. There's something else in the release notes about that. What did that have to say? Let me have a brief look at that. Okay, that's under the panel setting is what I was thinking of. I was thinking there was an extra setting under here. The one there's a different setting is under your panel. So if I were to edit my panel settings, so here's our panel height, auto hide. We can also left zone, center zone, right zone. So we can actually do different things on our left zone. We should be able to decrease the size of icons on the one side and increase them, of course, or I think as high as we can get. There we are. So you can see here on our left zone, we can keep on going up and up, or we can just kind of drop it down in size again. It's not dropping them down in size though, so not sure what's going on over on that one, but our basic panel icons are being set kind of by our height. Our ones on the right is actually properly being set by this symbolic icon size. Okay, that's right. I think we just need to adjust that panel size there. All right, so no new options there. All right, let's just go ahead and keep it like that. Toggle off the panel edit mode. And as far as software availability, all right, so my software, so we still have our flat packs here. Let's go ahead and look for GIMP if I wanted to go ahead and install GIMP. So we have, I'm guessing this is going to be the version out of FlatHub is my guess. Tells right here from FlatHub, that's version 2.10. So if you do want GIMP installed, you can go ahead and just install it. This is the one from the repo, which is 2.8.22. All right, so overall, it does look like we have a very nice system. It does looks polished. It looks pretty much like they're just kind of modernizing it a little bit. Hopefully the media player will work a little bit better. That's one of the big performance boosts that we should see. I'm not seeing a lot of other major things that are going to be different. So I would say definitely I would give it just a little bit of time to work out the initial bugs. But for the most part, this guy here should be a very good system. I wouldn't have any problem looking at it more down the road. So with all that being said, there is our Linux Mint 19.3 beta. You can go ahead and have a look at it for yourself. And that'll be available. You can grab the links to it from the Linux Mint blog or from the grab it from the distro watch page if you want. But anyway, go ahead and test it out. Report any bugs back to them to help them out, and that's that. So thanks for coming along. Let me know your thoughts on this new version of Linux Mint in the comments down below.